This series is going to show you step by step on how to do various things through va.gov. We're talking about how to submit an initial claim, a fully developed claim, increases, secondaries, supplemental claims, how to use quick submit, how to send a secure message to your healthcare team, everything under the sun through va.gov. This is what this series is going to show you. I'm going to create a playlist called VA Disability How To so you can navigate to the video that you need for your claim. This is going to show you how to submit an initial claim using va.gov. Once we're here, go ahead and get on va.gov. In the top right, you're going to click sign in here. Sign in with whatever information you have. Now, when my personal information comes up, I will be redacting that. You'll log in. It's going to ask you to two-factor authentication. Let me grab my phone.
And here it is.
So you can absolutely navigate from here to file a claim, but I'm going to use the search bar for this series because it's going to make everything a lot easier. Just type file claim for compensation. This will pull up how to file a VA disability claim. Scroll down and you'll find file a claim online. And there's many ways to get there. That's the way that I prefer. And here we go. It's asking you to fill out the 526EZ. And what you're going to do is fill out this questionnaire as these questions relate to you. So I'm going to fill them out as they relate to me. Am I on active duty right now? No, I am not. And thank the good Lord. Are you filing a new claim or are you disagreeing with the VA decision on an earlier claim? Let's go ahead and file a new claim for this one. And you'll see for a new condition or a condition that's gotten worse. And then once we do this, go ahead and file a disability claim online. Scrolling down, you'll see start the disability compensation application. It's a link within a link. I know. Just go ahead and click that.
And it'll load and it'll load and it'll keep loading. And once it does, then we can go ahead and submit the claim.
Your intent to file request has been submitted. And here's personal information. It's going to ask you your name, your birth date, and your gender. Make sure that information is correct. Go ahead and click continue. You'll see your contact information and your address below. Make sure that's right. You'll see your military service history. Make sure that's right. And if you have any reserve or National Guard time, make sure this information is correct. Now, sometimes this is weird, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in the unit that I left when I left the Marine Corps. Are you currently activated on federal orders or the reserve? I'm going to say no. And I'm filing a claim for a new condition or one of my rated conditions has gotten worse. And so let's go ahead and click new condition. And you can do both at the same time. We're going to do a new condition right now. And here we go. This is the bulk of the claim. And so you don't have to be very precise here. If you're claiming PTSD or depression or anxiety or insomnia, any of those, I would be very broad and just say mental health. And that's it. You click outside the box, you click save, and that's how you would file for mental health. If you wanted to add another condition, let's say instead of saying lumbar strain, you could literally just say lower back pain. And you could be as broad as that. Either way is fine. Now, if you have an actual diagnosis and you know what your diagnosis is, and so if you know that you've been diagnosed with PTSD, you can absolutely put PTSD in there. There's personal trauma, there's combat related, and then you can go ahead and update that. And same thing with lower back pain. If you know you have lumbar strain and you've been diagnosed with that, you can absolutely save that as well. But we're going to use PTSD and lumbar strain for this video, so let's go ahead and click continue. And it's going to ask you some more follow-up questions about these disabilities. And so looking at lumbar strain here, what caused this service-connected disability? And you have to read all of these options, okay? So the first one, it says, my disability was caused by an injury or exposure during my military service. So you fell off a truck, you were working out, something happened and your back pain began. The second option is my disability was caused by another service-connected disability I already have. That would be a secondary condition, okay? And we'll talk about radiculopathy and lower back pain in the secondary condition video. The third one here, my disability or condition existed before I served in the military, but it got worse. And so as a child, if you did hurt your back and you had lumbar strain, you would have to argue that your military service aggravated and made that condition worse. And the last one here, my disability was caused by an injury or event that happened when I was receiving VA care. That's something totally different and could be associated with what's called a tort claim, and we will cover that in a later video. But for this, it is the first option. We're going direct service connection. My disability was caused by my military service. And we have a brief explanation. It's only 400 characters long. You do not have to write a book. You do not have to sound like a military doctor, okay? You could, and I'm going to be as plain and bland as I possibly can to show you that this portion, there's no magic words a VSO uses when they're filling out your claim. And so you could just say, I hurt my, if I could spell right, I hurt my lower back on or around this date after this deployment. And you could go ahead and wordsmith that and make it relatable to you. Since then, I've been seen by military medical professionals and by my primary care at the VA. And if you go to private healthcare, you could also include that you've been seen from a private healthcare physician. And that's it. There we go. Short, simple, sweet. You do not have to sound like a medical professional here. You don't have to sound like a physician. The VA is not expecting you to do that. Just give a brief statement saying, hey, I have some type of evidence. I have my diagnosis, and this is why I'm claiming this condition. So click continue. The same thing goes for PTSD. All right. And with PTSD, it is a little different because they're going to give you information on the crisis line and an option to text. All right. So click continue. Then it goes into what type of PTSD is this, and just go ahead and answer the questions. Okay. If it's combat related, click that. If it's sexual trauma related, there are people within the VA specifically who handle these types of claims. Personal assault, is it a combination of non-combat? Okay, we're going to stick with combat and then go ahead and click continue. Is your PTSD related to a situation where you feared hostile military or terrorist activity during your military service? I'm going to say yes. If you click no, completely okay. You're just going to follow the questionnaire as it takes you through. Have you ever been a prisoner of war? No, I have not. And then it talks about additional benefits, talking about adapting your home, some home-based care, individual unemployability, so being paid at 100%. And would I like to know more about these? You can click yes if you want, or you can just hop over to my YouTube channel and you will find a video on all those topics. In summary of disabilities, it says letting you know, hey, you're claiming PTSD, combat-related, and lumbar strain. And if you had more claims, those would pop up here as well. Go ahead and click continue. Now we're in step 3 of 5, supporting evidence. Now this step is absolutely crucial, and I want you to be sure to check out the quick submit video because when it comes to evidence, quick submit is going to be your best friend. But here during your claim, you can absolutely upload evidence. I'm going to check all 3 of these boxes just in case you fit in one of these, okay? But if you have VA medical records or private medical records or some lay statements like a buddy letter or a personal statement. So a personal statement is VA form 214138 and the lay statement or buddy letter is the 10210. And so let's click continue. You would have to type in your VA medical facility that you see. I'm near the Washington, D.C. area, so you can go ahead and click Washington, D.C. If you've been seen for both of these at this place, go ahead and click both. If you've been seen for one, just answer the question. Then it talks about month or date. You don't have to be exact, all right? Just go ahead and put that in there. I was not out of service before then. Here we go. All right, country, state. Fill out all this information, then go ahead and click save. And if you have private healthcare records, it'll ask you, do you want to upload your private medical records? Let's say yes, absolutely. And here we go. It's asking you if you do want to upload those medical records, make sure it's in one of these text files, and then click upload. And then here we go. Now you can upload whatever you want. Just click the file, click open, and it'll go ahead and save. And let's go back one more time and look at personal statements. And so now if we're supporting a personal statement or a buddy letter, a lay statement, same thing applies. Just click upload, click on the statement you want to submit. You go ahead and open that and then answer the questions as normal. And now we have a summary of evidence. Whatever you did upload would be here just like your claims were. Go ahead and click continue. And now it's letting you know that saying, hey, one of these companies is going to schedule your CMP exams. Be on the lookout, okay? Go ahead and click continue. Here's some checking account information. So if yours has changed or has been updated, you're definitely going to want to make sure to double tap that. Make sure yours is in there. And then it'll ask you if you're at risk of being homeless. I'm not, but if you are, definitely click currently homeless or you're at risk. And then go ahead and answer the prompts as needed. I'm going to click no. Hit continue. Are you terminally ill? For me, that's a no. Again, if that's you, then click yes. Click continue. Are you currently a VA employee? No, I'm not. And as you can see, there's so many questions you have to answer. They're pretty easy. It talks to you about fully developed claims, which is going to be covered in another video. So stay tuned for that. And it says, I've uploaded all my supporting documents. And if you say no, it'll tell you to upload your documents. So let's just say yes. Click continue. And there we go. You review the application. This is the very last thing that you do. You check this little box here. And you can go ahead and review all this information here. And then once you're ready, submit the application.